let me be real. I know the emotion anger very well. Especially as a young person, I was filled with rage. Filled with rage because I was watching my mom get abused, fighting the injustices of poverty and racism. I was filled with so much anger that I didn't know the right tools to emotionally regulate. The problem isn't anger. Emotions are not a negative thing. It's the way you process and you use those emotions. And the thing is, because I didn't have those tools to emotionally regulate and give myself a space of safety and use my nervous system to my advantage, I ended up in fights. I ended up in relationships that reflected my anger. And today we're going to discuss how we can never navigate anger so you don't have to go through half of what I've been through with the emotion of anger. By the end of this video, you will have positive tools to better navigate anger and use it to your advantage. If you like everything mental wellness and achieving greatness, follow my channel. I'm on a journey to transform all of us, not just myself, all of us, to a future where we are more confident and we take control of our lives and we are happy and joyful. And together, we are going to meet that goal. So just a brief overview of what my story is so you can better understand why this topic, I am very an expert in this topic, is at a young age, between the ages of 8 to 16, I watched my mum get abused physically and emotionally. Mostly emotionally, in fact, both emotionally and physically, to the point where police will be called mostly by me. I would have to intervene and I would get caught in the crossfire. I was a very big advocate for my mum, but watching domestic violence can make you build up so much rage because you can be you can know what's right and wrong, but as a child, you know there's certain things that you can't control. So me being able to fight my mom's abuser, I couldn't fight. I fought sometimes, but I didn't have the right tools or the right strength to actually properly advocate for my mom and be her protector. And that built up a lot of rage in me. And on top of that, the person was very emotionally abusive to me, which made me even more angry as they tried to control my life and make me small. So I know how it is witnessing unfair situations, and that's where anger most of the time stems from. It stems from this feeling. I know it. I know you probably know what I'm talking about. Like, I want this to change, and this is making me so angry that I don't have the tools to change it. That's where anger can come and it can be birthed. And the thing is, there is a beautiful thing to learn about anger. It teaches you what what matters most to you. And to me, at that point, what mattered most to me is to be able to have my mom. My mom was the only person in my life after my dad died. So protecting my mom was what was important for me. Me and my mom being happy and safe was what was important to me. So anger, although it's seen as negative, it shows you what's important to you, and it's about navigating that anger to use it as fuel to propel you to a future where you're like, wow, I did this because of my anger. Not in And you probably think, that doesn't make any sense. But what I'm trying to say is channel that anger into creating a better life for yourself. That rage you feel, go to the gym with it. That rage you feel towards the injustice you feel, be an advocate and stand up for people that don't have that fire in them to be able to defend themselves. Use your anger as a tool to facilitate your goals, if that makes sense. And we're going to go into that more. But that's a brief overview of my story. And on top of that, I did experience bullying, poverty, and all those things can make you even more angry on top of everything else. And the thing is, with trauma makes it hard for us to emotionally regulate and make better informed decisions. And that's why sometimes anger can feel so overwhelming, because the trauma, the root of the cause of the anger is trauma. And with trauma, it dysregulates your nervous system, meaning it's harder for you to properly act towards anger. Anger is not the issue, it's the way you process and act on it. But we're going to go through some tools that's going to help us. So before we get into the tools, I want to just say a few things on what anger can do when it's not the obvious ways, like lashing out. It can be numbing yourself with things, escaping through maybe violent music, or doing things that are self that you're kind of self-sabotaging yourself, numbing the pain. And in extreme cases, which I can relate to because I've been in fights as a young person, is lashing out. So with all these things in mind, it can really negatively impact us. And that's why it's so important that we develop better tools. Because if you don't check your anger now at a young age, if this develops and you let it go unchecked, you are creating potential chaos and dysfunction in your future. And I don't want that for you or me. So I don't want us to have a future where we can't be emotionally intelligent, we can't react appropriately, respond, sorry, appropriately to situations. So we are going to go through the tools on how to get through this anger, because anger is not the enemy, it's the way you process it that can be the enemy. First step, we must approach the situation. We need to acknowledge how we feel, acknowledge and accept how we feel. I feel angry. Okay, let's say for instance, an example, this person called me a like a loser. Feel whatever emotion you feel because of that event, accept it and acknowledge it. Accept yourself and say, you know what, I understand why you would feel this way, and I accept this emotion that I'm having. And then we need to look at that situation with compassion. Look at this situation and think, what is the most loving thing I can say to myself to approach this situation? So the most compassionate I can say is, I know I'm not a loser because I've achieved this. I know I'm not a loser because I don't believe anyone else is a loser. No one is a loser. Calling myself as a loser is a losing game. So I'm not going to internalize what this person's saying. They're most probably projecting to me what's going on in their inner world. So I am not a loser, and nor will I continue to say I'm a loser. Do you see that reframing and self-compassion? What I would say, the key to most things is self-compassion. We think it's um thugging it out and just getting over it. No, the key to life is acceptance, acknowledging, and self-compassion. That is first step. That is the first step. Okay, so we said this step, and I'm not gonna say that, oh, because that's we've talked about that step, is the anger's just gonna go away. Let's go into the next step. Before we continue, I do want to touch on the fact that after we do the first step, I touched on reframing. Reframing is the most powerful tool that you can have in your toolkit. Reframing, I'll briefly explain reframing. For me, I I saw my mum's abuser strangle her nearly to death, and I intervened and called the police. He tried to fight me. So adult version of me, I was in the gym and I thought of that memory, because traumatic things can come back. But what was different, I reframed the memory, got him off my mum, fought him, and told my mom to wake up and leave this relationship. And that was a reframing. I'm not saying it's the most healthy, because I shouldn't fight no one, but it was more of like not a fighting him, but more of like, what are you doing? You don't hurt people. What are you doing to my mom? And then going to my mom and saying, wake up, you deserve more. That is reframing, taking something that depletes you and drains your power, using the reframing tool to switch the script so you can gain power from that experience, rather than being drained. Next step, anger in the moment We can all say this lovely stuff that I'm saying. We can all be thinking and know, but in the moment it's hard. So what I recommend you do is slow down time. And you're going to think, how can you slow down time? No one can slow down. Slow down time mentally, your inner state. Focus inwardly rather than what's going on outwardly. And what I like to do is the box method, which is breathe in for 8, hold for 4, breathe out for 8. For other people, it's 4 seconds. 4 seconds hold, 4 seconds out. But I like to do 8 seconds. I find that the most effective. Do those breathing exercises, and then remember the acknowledging and accepting. Say mentally to yourself, I acknowledge I feel this way and accept this way. How can I reframe this moment so I can act in a more strategical way? And you need to remember the promise you made to yourself and the future you want for your life. And the future you want for your life is tied into your emotional intelligence and how you respond to difficult situations. So what we're trying to do here, and what I'm trying to get through to you, is use anger as a tool. Don't run away from it, because the more you resist something, the more it persists. The more you resist anger, the more you feel shame over it, the more anger is going to capture you, trap you, and it will never let go. And you'll be stuck in this constant war in your mind and with others if you don't effectively handle anger and use it in a better ways. So use your toolkit: reframing, self-compassion, pausing, breathing techniques. These things are not there to just be gimmicky and buzzwords. They are tools, and you need tools. And I know how it feels when growing up in trauma and overcoming trauma and starting this healing journey. It can feel like a lot, but the thing is, the answers are within you. The tools that you need are within you. They're not in a book. Books can help you get to the answers. Therapists can help you get to the answers. Loved ones can help you get to the answers, but you need to remember the key to your healing journey, the key to changing your life starts with you. No one else can actually physically, emotionally, spiritually take you up and get you there but yourself and God. So you need to educate yourself with these tools, and that's what I'm here for. So you don't need to look for hours like I do, read a lot of documents, read a lot of books. That's my job. I want to make it easier for you by giving you this information without you needing to do the hard work. We are going to get through this. And before the video ends, I want to talk about how anger is beautiful when you use it in your creative outlets. And creative outlets can be writing. If you start trying to write poems of how you feel, or the injustices you face, or doing stories, like short stories, or creating a blog or a private Instagram or TikTok where you proper express those creative things in you, because emotions and the emotion of anger, there's this power behind it, this energy behind it. But if you utilize that energy and that power and you put it in poems, in writing, in art, in singing, in any creative dancing, rapping, whatever, if you use that in that form, you are gonna create masterpiece. Like, I'm being so for real. I'm being so real. How I use anger now is writing from the heart, passion. And another way I use my anger is to advocate for others, because I'm a very big empath and I can feel emotions very strongly. So what I'm saying to you is, use anger as a tool to express and to breathe. And I want us to take a moment to just be present in the moment right now. Take a deep breath in and out. And I want you to feel your feet on the floor. Feel your feet. Feel what's going on in your body. How do you feel right now? Focus on that. Always take time to go back into your inner state, because your inner being is what is reflective. Your inner state reflects outwardly. What's going on in here is the most important thing ever. In order for you to get the things you want, you need to first become the person that gets those things. And becoming that person is not by changing your hair, doing makeup. It's working on what's going on inwardly. It's working on what emotions do I have. It's working on regulating your nervous system, because all these things allow you to be better equipped to handle those things so you can sustain them. And don't get me wrong, some people can go through life and not do the inner work and succeed. But one thing you will see in that story is that they always come crashing down sooner enough, whether that be through drugs, whether that be through hurting other people, whether that be going to psych wards and prisons, everything. Like, you need to work on your inward, your inner being, your inner body. And I'm saying this not to patronize you, because I know what happens when you don't work on what's going on inside you. That's what led me going into a psych ward. I built up so much emotions, and I was not in my body feeling and processing things as with love. I wasn't processing things with love, and it led to my demise. And I don't want you to go through that. And that is why I'm here. I'm here to share what I know and what I research. I spend a lot of time researching and reading so I can give you the best knowledge possible. And we are going to get to a future where we win. We will win. Repeat after me. I am a winner. I am a winner. I am destined for greatness. Affirmations are so important. Tell yourself these things. Tell yourself these things. Remember, take responsibility for your anger. No one's responsible for it. You are responsible for yourself. Don't let your anger go unchecked. Please listen to all the tools I've given you in this video, and I really hope that is helpful. But just remember, you are not crazy. You are just you are carrying a storm in your mind that you was never supposed to have. You were supposed to have peace, sunny days, beach. But like, sometimes in order for us to develop a stronger character and win even harder, we need to process and go through these difficult emotions. So remember, don't resist anger. Approach it with love. Approach it with love, and know that this is a teacher. It's not my enemy. And I'm going to process this in the most healthy way. If you got to the end, comment this down below. Comment down below, I am not my anger. I am not my anger. Because you are not your anger. Anger is just an emotion. It's not a label for you to put on yourself. Don't put labels on yourself. But thank you guys so much. If you want any videos from me, please leave a comment down below. Follow me on my socials, michellelauren._ on all platforms. And I'm always here. Message me. And if you need any coaching, you can direct message me as well. And my coaching at the moment is free. So if you want coaching sessions with me for 8 weeks, just message me on any platform, or even leave a comment and I'll message you. But yeah, thank you guys. Bye. Love you.